Hey everybody, welcome. Prepper Nerd One here. Uh, Hope everybody had a good day. A little overcast here today, a little bit of rain. Had a nice rain shower come through. Interesting day here at the homestead. So we're going to talk about Portland tonight. A lot of interesting stuff going on. It's amazing. It just literally you cannot make this stuff up. You just can't. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Kenosha a little bit as well. We're talking about a lot of different things, but I want to really try to drive home the whole distraction point that is being done to everybody. So we're going to talk about that a little bit as well. So anyway, before we get started, I just want to remind everybody if we have any kind of issues at all, then what I'm going to do is, get right back on right away. So if we have any kind of interruption in the stream, just be patient. You may not get a second notification, but I will get right back on right away. So all you really need to do is just come right back on, and I will be here. Okay, I'll get right back on as soon as I can. So hopefully that we don't have that. Hopefully we get through with one stream and no issues. That would be wonderful. But you never know with YouTube. So go with the flow. Um, I do want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. So I would ask everybody to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. Please be decent to each other. If you are not, those awesome people you see lit up in blue will boot you out of here. Okay? So just please be decent. Like I said, there's no reason for it. And I would like everybody to be able to enjoy a nice chat and not have any issues. All right? So that being said, all right. I just like I said, there is a lot of things going on, and a lot of it. I was having a discussion today with my lady friend, and we were talking about the fact that with all these distractions, we're being distracted from what they're trying to push through. So you kind of have to look through the cracks and see what's going on realistically behind the scenes, what they're trying to do, and not have you pay attention to. Okay, that's really, really important. I think everybody really needs to pay attention to that because the divide and conquer theory is a great thing, and that's part of what they're doing. But again, if I can keep you, Chicago gangs have put bounties on the police officers who draw their weapons for any reason. They have all agreed to shoot on sight. Well, that's very nice. We're going to talk about the police as well a little bit this evening as well, and the whole thing, with that. What I want to do, like I said, we're going to talk about a couple different things, a lot of different things actually. So anyway, again, there's a lot of craziness going on. We're going to start off. Let's start off with this. Let's start off, and this like blows me away. Okay, so now basically for 3 straight months in Portland, you've had all this anarchy going on. The president has sent in, police to help, federal marshals, and all this type of stuff to help. They were the mayor Wheeler there, and the governor asked, oh, we don't need this help. We got this. All this type of stuff. So they asked them to leave and to withdraw. And I'm going to tell you what. And Becca and I were talking about this, and I thought that this was really interesting, and it was very, very telling that, Trump is not a stupid man. And this is what I was explaining to her. So you have this anarchy happening. He sends in people to stop this from happening. It fires up everybody even more, and so they said, take the troops out. All you're doing is causing more trouble. So they take not the troops, but they take out the federal marshals and all those guys, the border patrol agents. They take them all out of there, right? And things just go right back to anarchy and chaos and all this type of stuff. What this really does, and it's like this is what we were talking about today. Trump is, like I said, it's not a stupid man. You may like him, you may hate him, whatever the case may be. But what does this do? So I look at the big picture. I look why things are being done, what's going on, who benefits, okay? And So what you do, basically, I'm sure that the average citizen in Portland is like headed up to here with these protests every single night. Nonsense going on, the fires, the fighting, people being killed on the street because, they're an opposing group or whatever the case may be. People are going to get sick of it. So who benefits from that? Biden sure doesn't. If you think Biden benefits from that, when you have your Democratic leader of the city is continuing to allow this nonsense to go on because he's trying to keep everybody stirred up and distracted and, and all those type of things. Trump actually benefits in the long run, realistically. Okay. But a lot of people, their blinders are on so much that they cannot see that. So just recently, the Dem mayor complained about Trump today. I know, and I love that too, and I think that is hilarious. Everything is Trump's fault. This is all Trump's fault. All Trump's fault. So anyway, here's the thing that I find very, very funny. So now the protesters and stuff have been targeting the building where Wheeler lives. So Wheeler has come out with this statement saying that he's going to be moving, because of the distraction and the fear for the people that also live in the building, and he's so sorry and blah, blah, blah. Now, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay. And I guess 19 people were arrested yesterday. So the police are able to go in and do that there. The people are protesting and wanting Wheeler to resign. And I want you, and like I said, you really cannot make this up. They want Wheeler to resign because, you're going to love this now, the police are using tear gas against the protesters. That's one of their complaints. You literally cannot make this up. So I'm sorry, we're busy burning and looting and robbing people's stores and stuff like that and setting things on fire and committing arson. How dare you? How dare you use tear gas on us to break us up? Really? Just literally, you cannot make this up. You can't. I mean, I could write a book and people would be like, no way. The mayor of Kenosha praised Trump today, not condemned. I wasn't talking about Kenosha. I was not talking about Kenosha. I'm talking about Wheeler in Portland. And it's funny that he would do that because the mayor of Kenosha actually sent Trump a letter asking him not to come to Kenosha because of the divide and the upset and stuff like that. And I'm going to tell you what, with him going there and basically condemning everything that is happening, I thought was brilliant. Now, all of a sudden, I don't know if you guys know this or not, now all of a sudden, Biden is going to go to Kenosha and meet with the family of the gentleman that got shot in the back 7 times. Now, what I want you guys to remember, you have an individual that is a criminal that had a warrant out for his arrest. They tried to arrest him. He was tased twice. He got up and was going to that car for a purpose. Now, again, should he have been shot 7 times in the back? Probably not. But again, what do you wait until he pulls a gun out? You don't know what he's going for in that car. So the cops have to stop him. They've already tried to stop him. They've already tried to tase him. Again, there's a lot of reasons why sometimes a taser doesn't work. Again, one of those reasons a lot of times is under the influence of drugs. That's a big reason for that happening sometimes. But now, like I said, because Trump went and went to Kenosha, now all of a sudden Biden's going to go and meet with the family. This guy's a scumbag. Realistically, sexual assault. He goes there, takes the woman's keys and stuff like that, and now these idiot football players are putting his name. And I'm not even going to do the dignity of saying what his name is. Putting his name on their helmets. Okay, I'm going to tell you what. Sports in general, sports athletes in general, basketball players, football players, baseball players, because they're feeding into this nonsense. A lot of people have had it up to here with the glorification of people that are career criminals that continue to break the law. I'm going to say this again. Okay. Had Floyd, and I'll use his name, had Floyd done what he was told, followed exactly what he should have done, okay, playing games, not getting in the cop car, okay, there was also extenuating circumstances with the amount of drugs that he had in his system, okay, so he is culpable for part of the reason that things went the way they did. Now, again, with Floyd, You don't put your knee on somebody's neck for 8 or 9 minutes. That there's no excuse for that, and I will never make an excuse for that. But the leading up to what happened there, not going in the car. If he'd gone in the car, he probably still would be alive today. Let's be honest, okay? The other guy, if he had followed the rules and done what he was told, because he don't want to be arrested and go to jail, okay? And I love how this, well, his children were in the car. Yeah, it wasn't even his car. He had taken the keys. What are you thinking? Follow the rules, do what you're supposed to do. Real simple thing. Don't break the law, follow the police instructions, and most of the time, you're going to go home and you're going to be fine, regardless of what color you are. And I'm going to tell you what, the cops kill a lot more white people every year than they kill black people, unarmed. This guy, I don't know if there's been the talk of that he was going for a knife in the car the whole 9 years. So, of course, now we're getting completely off track from the whole thing that we were going to talk about. But I'm just saying, again, you follow the rules, you do as you're told. Guess what? You get to go home. Okay, maybe in his case he'd go to jail because he did have a warrant for his arrest, and he was actually breaking, I think it was a restraining order against the girlfriend or whoever she was. Again, don't do stupid things and nothing happens to you. Follow the rules and nothing happens to you. You can't, it amazes me how all the armchair quarterbacks can sit there and cast judgment on how a police officer reacts in a highly stressful, volatile situation when they deal with this stuff all the time. You've already tased this guy twice, so now you don't know, is this guy whacked out on drugs? I wonder what those toxology reports will come back, because I'm sure that they did them for him to find out what he was under the influence of, if he was. So I'm not making a judgment call. I'm just saying that there's a possibility that he may be under the influence of drugs. A normal person does not. Yeah, right. Open carry nationwide should be mandated. I agree with you, JJ, on that. Just lambs for sacrifice. I believe, sad to say, Cody Barnes just said that. There's a lot of games being played. A lot of games, okay? A tremendous amount of games. And, again, you want to look at why things are being done. And so, again, Becca made a great point today. She said, like I said, first of all, follow the money. Okay, if you take the emotional part all out of it, you follow the money, and who benefits by what agenda. Okay, so and again, and like I said, I look at the situation with what cities these things are happening in. What is the agenda by these mayors, by these governors of these cities and states for not calling in the National Guard or whoever they need to call in and quell the insurrection? You stop it. You arrest people. You put people that are acting like idiots in jail. You don't have the revolving door nonsense, and you stop this crap. And it is amazing to me the number of teachers that are part of that whole Antifa group. Absolutely amazing to me. Absolutely amazing to me. Randy Romines, Ed, someone is flying rioters out of D.C. The minute they hear an announcement. Well, I know there's a lot of crap going on there in Washington, D.C. as well. Yeah, it's just follower of Jay, Ed, the liberals dug up a video today. Hold on a second. Let me just of Rochester, New York cops putting a hood over a black man's head, then pressed his head into the pavement. I did not see that. I didn't see that because Rochester is where I lived in Rochester for many, many years. And there's a lot of issues in Rochester, don't get me wrong. A lot of issues. Again, when you have these mayors of these cities basically kissing the behinds of people that are doing anarchy, upheaval, hurting people, I'm going to tell you what, I don't condone anybody hurting anybody else because of the way they look, their religion, the color of their skin, whatever the case may be. I don't condone that anyway, any side, any way, period, okay? We are all human beings, and this nonsense really does need to stop. And you know what? What I want people to realize, okay, this is not about Trump. How come, and this is what I want, see, people have such short memories, okay? And they're so easily manipulated that it absolutely blows me away. Trump has been one of the champions for black people for a very, very long time. A very long time. Until he ran as a Republican against the Democrats. Then all of a sudden he's a racist. Bull crap, okay? Hey, L. Gibson. Portland officers were deputies as U.S. Marshals, so now if they arrest you, you are in federal custody. No hardcore issues last night in Portland. Ah, okay. Well, that's good. As it should be. They need to lock it down. The only and I like this comment. RV Source just said violence only as self-defense. Right. If you need to defend yourself because you fear for your life, then I totally get that. But again, and I'm going to say this again, and I've said this many, many times, don't put yourselves in situations like that. People, places, and things. Remember we talked about that? Talked about it before. I tell my kids that all the time. Always told my kids that. It's the people you're hanging out with, the places that you are, and the things that you're doing. If you are in the middle of one of these protests and they're rioting and you know they're going to riot and you know there's going to be all kinds of issues, don't put yourself in that position where it may affect you for the rest of your life. Because if you get jammed up in a riot and you get caught up in the moment and, bad things can happen and you can end up dead. People have, obviously, okay? Not smart at all, okay? And, when people are looking to go out and hurt somebody, and this is, let's even take it even further, not even talking about race or religion. Let's take it even further. Because of your political beliefs, you don't believe what I believe, so I'm going to hit you over the head with a skateboard and I'm going to kick you in the face and beat you up, pull you out of your car, corner you in a restaurant because you won't raise your fist in solidarity. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. It needs to stop. And I'm going to tell you what, all this talk, and I'm going to say this over and over and over again, because this is very, very true. Okay, I don't care. Anybody can say whatever they want to say about this, but this is true. You don't see this crap happening out in rural America. You do not see this crap, I'm going to say it again, happening in rural America. And why? Because in rural America, we are not going to tolerate it. It is not going to be allowed to happen. You come out to the country and try to pull your nonsense that you're pulling in the cities, you're going to get shot. People are not going to tolerate it. They're going to give you an opportunity to get in your little vans and your buses and go back to wherever you came from. But they may not. You come out there acting stupid, said this many times, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. If Antifa and the BLM think that they're going to come out to the country and act like they're acting in the city, not going to happen. Guaranteed it. East Tennessee preparedness. Great news here. Unemployed for 4 months and starting a new job next week. God is good all the time. Stack food to the rafters. Well, dude, congratulations. I'm actually very happy for you that you got a new job. That's awesome. Let's see. Hold on a second. I got somebody said I want to read this. So I thought this was not happening in my neck of the woods will be the end of the game. Billy the Kid Norwood just said. Yep, and I agree with you 100%. Not happening in Texas. Oh, so hold on a second. Where did that one go? Or Oklahoma either. Patriots show up in force. Exactly. Okay, now I want to make sure I read this other comment here. Charmin Lauk. I think I said that wrong, but I'm sorry if I did. Good evening, Ed. Thanks all of you. Do you hope all is well with the family? How is Heather doing? Heather's actually doing very, very well. Actually, I just saw her yesterday. She was out here yesterday. And so I got to see her yesterday for a little bit. She's doing very, very well. And she's doing, she's hanging in there for right now. So that's a good thing. Okay. So thank you for asking again. I appreciate that. So really quickly, guys, before we get into any more stuff, I'm going to ask, actually, we're at 890 in the chat. We're at 304 in the thumbs up. So I'm going to ask for a thumbs up to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. And, again, it really does help with the algorithms as well. So the more interaction that we can have in a positive, it's a good thing. So I will appreciate you doing that for that reason as well. And I also like to see a nice number of thumbs up as well. Okay, so thank you again ahead of time for that as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. I want to bring something up again really quickly. I did a video earlier today about Ellen Pollard, who is a fellow prepper. that she was actually at the prepper get-together last year that we had at Letchworth State Park. And she has just been diagnosed with stage